the Zhiyun crane, how to balance it. So when you get the Zhiyun crane, it comes in this plastic hard case container, much like a Pelican case, but a lot cheaper. The Zhiyun crane is a piece of equipment used for stabilizing footage. You can put cameras up to 1.2 kilograms on it. Most popular cameras that people use on it, things like a 60D, a T5i, some mirrorless cameras. As long as you don't have a big lens on it and it's less than 1.2 kilos, you will be able to balance it with this thing. Okay, so let's crack right into it. You open this up, inside here, you have the crane itself. This is it. This is what's going to be using to stabilize that footage. When you first look at it, it can be a bit intimidating. It's not that hard once you understand how it works. Okay, so first things first, we're going to attach the camera to the crane itself. So inside here, you will get a base plate. This base plate needs to go onto the mount. So just so you have an idea of how this works, this is going to be the way that it's set up and the camera, whoa, hang on a sec, there we go. This is going to be how the camera is set up onto it. So just so you can see it from different directions. So this is the back where you've got that little embossment there, that's the back of it. So you're going to be putting this base plate, which the camera attaches to, on side here. So inside here there should be a screw, just like that. You're going to be screwing this into here. Just like this. Okay. Now there's a lot of trial and error when putting this on. Everything will be different depending on the setup you have, the camera you're using, the lens. It's always going to be different. So it's a lot of trial and error. So today I'll show you how to set it up with the T5i, and I have the 50mm 1.8 on here. So attach this, lock it into place so that can't go anywhere. Okay, that's on. Okay, so once you first get your camera on here, you're going to see it's moving all over the place. That's no good. We need to have it set up so that it stays stationary, essentially like this, without me holding it. So to be able to do that, you have all these different adjustments here. You've got one knob here, one knob here, one knob here, and obviously the one on the bottom that controls the camera moving forwards and backwards on its base plate. So each one affects the movement in a different way. Essentially, the easiest way to look at it is, if it's moving too much to the left, it means you need to counteract that movement by moving it to the right. Okay, so let's take a quick look and see what we've got going on here in movements. It's moving to the left pretty heavily, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this one here. That's going to control how much the camera is moving left and right this way. So because it's moving too much to the left, I need to move the whole camera to the right a little bit. So we're going to adjust this one on the top here and move this across all the way to the right and see how that works. Still moving to the left too much. Okay, we'll move it across a little bit more. That's pretty good now. It's not moving to the left too badly. Okay. Now we want to adjust to make sure that the camera is moving not forwards or backwards. Right now you see I let go, it moves forwards pretty quickly. So that means it's too far forwards. So to be able to change that, you've got this knob on the bottom here. So we'll loosen this, we'll bring it back the tiniest little amount. So by reducing it down here, we actually lowered the center of gravity of the camera, meaning that the movements are now a little bit slower. So you can see we're pretty close to being stabilized there. All the movements, they're not sudden, they're slow and gradual. So it's moving back a little tiny bit. So we need to just move it forward to the smallest amount. Let's just try that. Nearly there. You can see we're nearly balanced on that axis there. So let's try that out now. That's pretty good. So that now is it's leaning back a little tiny bit, but we can counteract that when the gimbal itself is turned on. So we're going to tighten that movement. See, we're good that direction. Okay, so now let's let go and see about left. Okay. So you can see it's going to the left now quite substantially. So what that means is, because it's going to the left, the weight is going to the left side. We need to move it across here and go to the right. So by moving it to the right on this little knob here, we should counteract that movement. So there you go, you see, we've moved it across, moved the whole camera this way, and now it's counteracted that movement, and we are now pretty centered. So now you can see I have it set up. It's moving back a little bit like that, but that's not too bad. So now however I move this, it's gonna stay pretty much back to its original position there. So we're good. So we're balanced, we're ready to go. So now what you want to do is the fun part. Get your batteries out of the case. Pop them in. Get this guy ready to go. Put them in here. Screw this guy in. He says, come on. There we go, so we screw that in. Okay, so once it's screwed in, you see you can move it around. It's still moving around a little bit, but it's slow, gradual movements. That's a good setup. So what we can do now, this little gold button here, we're gonna turn that, push that in, and it's gonna turn this on, and you're gonna see it spring to life and instantly stabilize, and all the little movements that are happening now, they're not gonna happen anymore. So we'll push this button on, hold it in, and there you go. You see it just spring to life there. So once it's turned on and ready to go, it's really easy to use. All your movements are going to be nice and steady now. You can move it around all you want, and it's going to stay really, really smooth. I'll post some footage at the end so you can kind of see how it works. On the back here, you've got one little joystick. Now on the basic setting, as soon as you turn it on, it's only going to control 2 movements. When you push it up on the joystick, it's going to tilt the camera upwards. There you go, you see it's tilting up. If you put it down, it's going to tilt downwards. Really easy to use, so straightforward. The other movement you're going to want to do is obviously turn the camera left and right. Well, if you do that with here, that's not going to do anything. The left and right movements controlled are from your wrist when you're controlling the crane in this setting. So if I want to face the camera to the right, I turn my wrist to the right, and it's going to move the crane to the right. If I want to go left, turn to the left. So whatever movement you make, the crane is going to go in that direction. So you see how I turn it that way, turn it back that way. It just moves whichever direction your wrist is facing. So that's really easy to use. Super great for weddings, which is what I shoot. But anything you want to use it for, walking, anything like that, it smooths out everything, and it's so easy to use, and it creates such great footage. I'm really happy with this piece of equipment. Yes, it's expensive for what it is, but it creates such professional looking shots that honestly it's worth it. So you can get it from Amazon, which is where I got mine. It was about $1,000 Canadian. You can buy it pretty much all over the world on Amazon. I'll list the link below if you want to check out and see how to get it. So guys, if you like what you see, subscribe just below there. Give me a like too. Share it out with anybody you think might be interested in watching the video. Thanks for viewing. I'll be posting more content weekly. Thanks guys. Bye.